It's Thanksgiving week, and we have a lot less to be thankful for. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, the 27th of November, and of course, the end of the Thanksgiving weekend. And of course, as I said, we have a hell of a lot less to be thankful for now than we did before, unless you're thankful for skyrocketing inflation, empty shelves at the stores, paying a fortune for gasoline, listening to this government lie and steal and cheat you out of your money. Okay, if you're thankful for that, then I guess it was a great Thanksgiving. But for me personally, it goes against everything that I ever learned in the Constitution, which we all happened to learn in 8th grade. That was part of passing 8th grade, which you had to read you haven't passed the Constitution test, which we'll talk more about in our commentary later. But we have seen the destruction of America as we know it, starting with the fracking and shale boom, which is over, and of course, once again, OPEC is in control. The Saudi Arabians have taken over. Aramco has become the biggest corporation in the world. And why? Because our government does not want to have to drill oil, and they don't want to make it easy for us to pay less. Okay, they want us to pay more as they continue to move towards this great global reset. Okay, as you sit there and they rob you, as they look at you and tell you what a good job they're doing for you, they are destroying your freedom. They are destroying your bankroll. They are destroying the middle class. Okay, and it all starts somewhere, and before you know it, it'll all be gone. And if you don't think that it's accurate, all you have to do is look and check your own bank balance, check your own spending. Okay, but you'll see that there is a lot of shady activity going on, starting with the FTX collapse, okay, and then finding out that most of that money went to the Democratic Party for this past election. Now, as I've always said, okay, Madoff was a Ponzi scheme, and when Madoff was done, there's somebody else that was involved, and somebody had to be probably from the SEC or from some agency that could keep a lid on it. Now, why we've never found out who it is, I don't know yet. But again, now that everybody's dead around it, we may never find out. But somebody knew about this as well, and this was more of a planned event. This is not some schmuck who decided to give all the money to the government after he scammed everybody out of it. Okay, this was a plan that needed help and assistance. These things don't happen by themselves. But of course, this really did some damage to the crypto world in general, as the cries now are for like a central banking system for digital currency, okay, or for cryptocurrencies, which is exactly what we don't want. The central banking system is one of the reasons we're in the mess that we are now, okay? Go back and look at the creature from Jekyll Island. Look at the original mandate of what the Federal Reserve was supposed to be. And then you will find out that they're not even following anything near what their job is. Okay? And when we look and see all these different things that are happening, it is purely destruction of us, the middle class. Okay? You have the first thing I've seen that's been encouraging has actually happened in Italy, okay, where Italians who refuse jobs will no longer be allowed to collect benefits. Okay, so their social benefits will be revoked. Now, don't you think that is the correct way? Don't you believe that people that can work should work? Okay, as we continue to lose jobs, which nobody talks about, this is another issue. We get these potential glowing job reports, which are really not glowing. Okay, we've lost over 600,000 full-time jobs since May. Okay, I mean, you've got the economy in a recession. But they won't admit to recession because they have changed the rules. But of course, the PMI that came out last week says that we're in a recession. Okay, but again, you have economists that refuse to call what it is. Okay, now again, you don't need some stupid ass economist to tell you that you're in a recession. You know yourself. You know by the amount of money you are earning, the amount of money you're spending, and the amount of money you're saving. Okay, and I assure you, those numbers are probably nowhere near what they used to be. Okay, and then of course we have the dovish Fed speak during the week, which has actually helped push along these rallies. But how good are the stock market rallies? What is the real strength behind it? Which we'll get more into in our market report. But when you have no liquidity and you have no volume, it is hard to gauge how valuable or how accurate that information is. Okay, but we're seeing just corruption everywhere. Okay, you have a total collapse of California with a $25 billion shortfall in their budget, and of course we all know that that in California that 60% of their budget goes to funding illegal aliens. And again, why are we allowing illegal aliens to come in these record numbers? Why are we so worried about everything else, but not worried about what is actually one of the big key components of our destruction? Okay, because we get them in, we got to pay for them, we got to feed them, we got to medicate them, and we're paying for. We're picking up the bill. Okay, and remember, everything that gets done in this country, we pay for. The government makes no money; they make debt. They make ignorant decisions. Okay, which starts from the voters who vote these imbeciles in. Okay, but if you're happy, listen, I can't tell you who to vote for. Okay, if you're happy with the way things are, God bless. Okay, I can't tell you, but I'm certainly not happy with the direction nor the positioning of where this country is going. Okay, from the COVID bullshit, which is now you're seeing that the majority of deaths from COVID are now coming from those who are vaccinated. And really, I wish I had never gotten vaccinated. That was a mistake that I made, not understanding it all and falling for the ridiculous garbage and information spewed by Dr. Fauci. Okay, but you have Russia now is banning oil sales to the countries that are trying to put on a price cap of oil, which, listen, I don't blame them. And certainly Russia controls their situation. We can talk all we want, and you can listen to the rhetoric and the bullshit that is spoken from this ridiculous administration about the sanctions and how much trouble Russia's in. Well, I got news for you. When they're your only supplier, they control the game. Okay, they are not at a disadvantage here. They are in a position of power because we have done nothing to take away their power. We have actually increased the amount of power that they have. Okay, but of course, listen to the rhetoric, listen to the bullshit, and you'll find out that it's going to be a much bigger disaster than we could ever possibly imagine. So between the control in OPEC, and if you've watched the oil markets this week, you've seen some dramatic moves up and some dramatic moves down, and it's all based on announcements out of Saudi Arabia and OPEC. And do you really think that OPEC has the United States' best interest at heart? Okay, they have no interest in helping us. Okay, and then you can tie that together. Okay, with the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. Okay, who says that China is a role model for what we should be headed for. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I have no interest in becoming a member of the Communist Party, especially the Chinese Communist Party. Okay. Now, this is what you're watching, and you're watching it in live time right in front of you. Okay. And yet we still sit back and do nothing. I don't understand what it's going to take for Americans to understand that the destruction of this country is being taken away brick by brick. And as they get bigger, the acceleration gets bigger. Okay. They take more bricks at a time, all in the effort to make it collapse. Now you can sit back and you can say, well, this guy is full of crap. And hey, listen, one thing I believe is this is still a free country and you are entitled to your opinion. Okay. But I will tell you that I have never seen in my 65 years such a criminal attempt to destroy a people, which would be the middle class. Okay. And this goes back, if you go back to when this country was founded, okay, this is the reason, the things that are going on now, which are very similar to what caused the Revolutionary War then. So I don't know what there is to be overly thankful for other than my family and my health. But as far as my country, they are certainly a big disappointment at this moment because they are destroying not only the freedom that we have, but financially, they're destroying the middle class. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our market report right after the break. Well, kids, what's up? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed time with family and friends. And, as you know, we have our Vegas event coming up. Actually, it's a week from tomorrow is the cocktail party. We still have some spots for the live stream if you're interested. And, of course, Trade Your Brokerage is our sponsor, which will give you a discount if you have an account there or open one. You can save $500. And actually, we just had a couple of cancellations, so there's a couple of spots open live, which the same deal applies. You get the early bird pricing. Okay, so you want to check it out? Just email me. But you can, if you want to check out Trader, go to try.trader.com/Bubba. That's try.trader.com/Bubba, and the links are scrolling on the sides here. And again, listen, it's $10 a month. That's all I should have to say. They don't have any inflation there either. Okay, and of course, our good friends at Capital Trading Group, the best in the commodities and future space for consumers. Again, it's a terrific company. They handle all my accounts. I have many brokers. You can name them. I probably have an account there. But when it comes to who I want to use and who I think that is the best for my members, it's either Trader for equities and options or CTG for commodities and futures. And again, both of their links are on the side. And of course, our high school program, which is again another concern of mine because of the amount of capital that we put into it, but not that part of it, more the part that it's hard to get schools to take it for free because they don't want to educate our children correctly about finance. But you can check them out, and that's along the bottom at patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my market report. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, November the 27th, and of course, really quiet week, which we talked about last week. We expected it to be extremely quiet. We weren't disappointed. I mean, we were disappointed because there was nothing to do, but we weren't disappointed. We knew that this was going to be a quiet week, and it was a pretty flat week. Okay, while it was being very quiet, a little bit of a bias to the upside, which again, you can't sell into a dull market. That is always a fool's game. I think that's always a mistake made by many. Boredom or whatever creates selling. When dull markets tend to drift or rip higher. Now, again, we are long, as you know, or if you don't remember, we are long. But I'm not saying that that they're going to go down tomorrow. I still have my same opinion that we are going down, 50 to 70%. Okay. But it doesn't mean it's going to be tomorrow. Okay. We're coming into an extremely bullish time of the year, the Santa Claus rally. But there's a lot of issues out there. But again, we can ignore them if we choose, and maybe we will. We'll see. Again, I'm long, just so you know. You know my positions. I disclose them to you every day. Okay. So in the four major indices, we're long all four, okay, and we've been long. And again, whether I like it or not, I'm not going to fight the tape or fight the trend. As we look at the other products that we use, the dollar is we are short, which was slightly lower for the week, but again, very flat. Nothing to get too excited about. The euro currency was slightly higher, and we're long for the week, but again, I get nothing to get too excited about. It's just our position based on the overall trend. Bitcoin got pounded once again. Well, I didn't get pounded. It was a quiet week, but did make recent lows once again. I do believe in the space. I do think that it's a real opportunity, but you have to be willing to take full risk if you're going to go ahead and participate in the crypto space. We are short at the moment on the board, but I do own cryptos through a wallet. Okay. Bonds and notes were both higher again, and signifying that kind of ties in with the dovish Fed, and I call bullshit on the dovish Fed. This is just a screen, a mask of what's going on and what they're really planning. Again, there's a lot of agendas out there that are trying to be met, and I think we'll see that bonds and notes are going to collapse as interest rates are going to skyrocket. I would assume, in my opinion, the 10 years getting to about 6 or 7% before it's all said and done. The metals, gold, silver, and platinum, pretty flattish. Silver was a touch higher, platinum a little bit lower, which we don't trade anymore because it's not liquid, but I do own it. And of course, gold, which was slightly lower, but we're still long gold and silver, and would be long platinum as well. Of course, it's not liquid, so we don't trade it. And I do think there's a real outside chance that we could get the big rally here for gold and silver, but we'll see. Again, I don't like to make big predictions other than just general long-term views. In copper, we are short. Okay, we were long. It's been kind of choppy, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But copper looks like it wants to go lower. The housing market is collapsing. Again, if you go back and look at 2008, okay, it just didn't happen in one day. And the month, everybody remembers is October of 2008. Things started happening in 2007, okay, that were already indicating. Again, the market doesn't have to, even though you may know that this is going to happen, this is the problem that investors and traders alike have. They try to time it out. Nobody knows when it's going to happen. But you can see the things that are building up to that eventual collapse. Okay. In the grain markets, we're short them all now once again. I hate that. I'd like to be long them all, but again, we're making money. They're going down. They're just not moving. Okay. And in my opinion, when you look at what's going on in the grain markets, what you're really seeing is you're seeing a weight put on them, I think, by the big major funds that they're trying to buy them, and they're trying to keep them under wraps right now because, again, the math does not work out. The production for the small farmer, he's not going to produce anymore if this continues. They can't afford it. Okay. In the meantime, we're short them all, and they were all relatively lower. The only one that's of concern right now, which I think is going to be the most powerful when it happens, is wheat. It broke below $8. Okay. In the meats, okay, again, pretty much flattish across the board. We're long all the protein complex. And again, I don't think that they're going up to the moon. I don't think they're breaking. I think they're really in a pretty much of a tight range. I think that they kind of depend on, the rest of the economy. Things get a little bit better. People buy cattle. Things get a little worse. They buy hogs. And again, it's the protein complex, and that's what we'll see, and that's what I expect. In the softs, you've got actually in natural gas, which we're long, had a little bit of an up week. In crude oil, we're short. Got hammered last week. Had some big monster moves on very thin volume. And again, as I said, a lot of rumors by OPEC. But again, I would suspect that crude is going a lot higher. Okay, and natural gas is pretty reasonably high now. But we'll see. But we're still in kind of season where they're in stock. And as we look at the softs, you've got cocoa, which was down and we're short. You have sugar, which was up and we're long. You had coffee, which was up last week, but we're still short. I mean, it's been a long way down. OJ were short, and it had just a little bit of a pop last week. Not a real surprise. And cotton, we're long, and it was slightly lower last week as well. But I think what you got to recognize, and I think this is something that's important, is I think we're looking at a potential big rally in commodities. I think there's the chance for a big bull or boom market in 2023 for the commodity space. Just something to keep an eye on and keep your mind on, and because that's I think when you're going to finally see the money pull out of the equities. I think what you're seeing now is the staging of a lot of accumulation for a lot of the big money into the commodity space. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, it's really quiet, and tomorrow we'll see if things start to pick up. Now, again, don't expect it to get busy tomorrow right away. If we're going to get busy, we got about 3 weeks until the year is basically over. Okay, I know it's 6 weeks till the year's over, but 3 weeks, the December expiration, that kind of does it for traders. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were quiet the rest of the year either. We'll check it out. We'll be ready. And of course, we report to you every day as well. In the meantime, let's step out for our final break at Bubba's Bottom Line, and we'll come back with my commentary and, of course, my valuable football picks. Well, kids, again, just a reminder, I'm not going to go through everything about them, but on the side, Trade Your Brokerage, who's sponsoring our Vegas event, and there's still a couple of spots if you'd like to join us. Their information on the side, along with Capital Trading Group. That's our partner for Day Trader's Dream and other futures products that we use. On the bottom is our high school program. Check them out. Again, look, I vetted everything. Otherwise, this is exactly what I use. Although I have many brokers, 99% of my money is with CTG and Trade Your Brokerage. Okay? That's all I can tell you. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. And of course, every week I have to give you my commentary. And, we have, if you remember the Constitution, okay, or if you've ever read the Constitution or paid attention to it, it says that we're not supposed to have federalism. We are supposed to have government run city, county, state. And the federal government is an overseer with limited power. Okay, the power is supposed to lie within the states. Okay, now they've done that in a couple of chosen events. For example, the medical, not the medical, but the marijuana, okay, or pot. Okay, they've destroyed that industry and have not federally legalized it yet, which is ridiculous. Okay, because it should be because of all the money it would make. Okay, and of course, already in California, you're seeing them buy illegal reefer again because, again, the taxes are too much. But we are not supposed to be in this predicament in federalism with the federal government in charge of everything. Okay, this is supposed to be, again, city, county, state. Okay, and the states are the boss of their own states, which is where you do see some states take charge. And again, if you look around at the different states, the states that are flourishing are typically the non-tax states, and the states that are struggling are all the high-tax states. So it's a problem, and it shows how broken down our government is when the federal government that makes nothing but debt, makes nothing but heartache, okay, and causes a great deal of grief, okay, has put us all under the gun and in a big problem when it comes to the Great Reset and trying to turn this whole country into socialist or communist. Because again, if you can listen to Klaus Schwab, you're going to be in big trouble. Okay, but this is the cozying up of the Biden administration with the communist countries. So it is your decision when you look at it, but I urge you to take a serious look at what's going on and then tell me that you really like the way that they're handling things as it is. In the meantime, it is a football Sunday. We had a nice football Thursday, and we like a couple of games today. We like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we like the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, Cincinnati is an interesting one. This will be the third week in a row that you look at a game that can't be a favorite, and of course they are a favorite, and we're going to take them once again for the third week in a row. We're going to take a team that no way they should be favored that is. And in the meantime, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update, and until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend and happy Thanksgiving. And let's hope that next year we have a lot more to be thankful for. Have a great day, everybody. Bubba's Bottom Line.